If you're launching a brand or trying to grow one, there's a lot of noise out there, and you don't need all of it. You don't need every single thing that you see, but you do need the right things. This video right here is going to be the only guide you need to set your brand up for success, because today we are talking brand and business essentials. Let's get it. Having the right tools is essential to your success as a business owner, but the internet is filled with all of these overwhelming, exhausting, and expensive lists. In this video, I'm going to share the core essentials that you need to build a successful, profitable brand without breaking the bank and without pulling your hair out. Today, you'll not only learn strategies, but I'll also be sharing with you the core softwares and apps and physical supplies that you need for your brand to take off. Now, if it's your first time here, hey, I'm Chanel, the brand hustler, and I used to be a shoe boutique owner that later transitioned into digital products. And as of last year, I launched a brand new brand, HBU, that helps new and aspiring entrepreneurs through our digital and physical products. Now, I am so grateful because God has blessed me to be a full-time entrepreneur for 5 years and see multi-six figures every year. And my newest brand, I am on a quest to take it to $100,000 this year. So whether you are just starting out on your product brand journey, or maybe you're already in the growth stage, or maybe you're a service provider who wants to come over to the good side and stop trading your time for money, then I am your girl, because I am going to help you build a brand that sells itself. Now, without further ado, let's get into the meat of today's video. Every successful brand has one thing in common: a strategy. And before today, you probably heard the word strategy thrown around, but nobody actually took the time out to break down what the heck it meant and what kind of strategies that you need to create. And luckily for you, I'm gonna simplify it for you, because I am going to share 4 core strategies that you need to build a successful, profitable brand. So make sure that you grab your pen and your notebook, because the first strategy is your attraction strategy. Now, this strategy here is how you plan on bringing in your ideal audience. You need a strategy that not only builds awareness, but it gets attention for your brand. But you want the right attention. So here's how we're gonna do it. First, you wanna have a clear content strategy. This should be a content strategy that maximizes reach and attracts your bull's eye. That means that you want it to align with your brand identity. So what you want to do is ask yourself, do you have a content strategy that's clear? Do you know what types of content actually maximizes your reach? And most importantly, do you already have well-defined content pillars or buckets that align with your brand, so that way you are attracting the people who will eventually buy from you and not the people who are just coming because they saw a viral post? The second thing we want to do is, if we decide to tap into a paid content strategy, maybe you decide to run ads, right? We want our ads to focus on brand awareness and lead generation, not sales, at least not yet. See, in the attraction stage, the name of the game is to let people know about your brand and then to get their information, so that way you can eventually build a connection with them and nurture them down the line. And so you don't want to run an ad just to be pushy and buy, because you are going to miss out on so much revenue and so many people within your community if you do it that way. So think about it like dating. You wouldn't go on your first date and expect for somebody to propose to you on the first date. At least, I hope not. I know there's some people that do that, but baby, not me, okay? It took my husband and I quite a few years of dating, okay? Like, I wanna say we started dating in, dang, when did we start dating? Was it 2016? And we got married in 2020, or got engaged in 2020. We got married in 2022. OMG, hopefully he doesn't see this. This is embarrassing. The point is, you want to get to know this person before saying yes to the ring. That's the same concept that you want to apply to your brand, okay? Attracting people is one thing, but keeping them engaged is a completely different ball game. And this is where your connection strategy comes in. This is all about fostering a deeper connection with the people who have already locked in with you by following you or joining your email list or anything like that. So in your connection strategy, you want to make sure that you're doing a couple of things. First, we want to make sure that we are creating content that builds relationships. Think, how can you go deeper with your storytelling? How can you provide behind the scenes moments or even value driven insights that are a little bit deeper than the surface level that you may have provided before? The second thing that we want to do is use DMs, email, and the big C word, community, to foster deeper relationships with the people who are within our audience. For example, if you had a skincare brand, instead of just posting about your product and saying that your product helps with hyperpigmentation, why not share your story of how you struggle with hyperpigmentation and how you actually solved your problem with your products, what it felt like in the moment when you were struggling with it, and what it feels like now that you have clear, glowing skin. Now that we've attracted the right audience and built a connection, you want to make sure that we're converting them into paying customers, right? Because this is where obviously your revenue comes from. So you need to have a conversion strategy. Your conversion strategy is something that is clear and profitable so that way people actually buy from you. So here are the two things that we are going to do. First, we are going to make sure that whatever we're offering is clear to understand and it's simple to digest, because confused customers don't buy. Two, we are going to make your purchasing as simple as possible. Your website needs to be user-friendly. We need to know how to add to cart, what we're adding to cart, what shipping is before we even check out. We want things to be as seamless as possible for our customers. So if you've ever been ready to buy something and you went to a website, but you backed out because it was just too much going on, that's exactly what your customers feel like when they go to your website and they're searching for days for something because you don't have keywords in your descriptions or in your titles. Or you didn't even organize it into user-friendly collections and you have people digging through hundreds of products to get to one thing. Or the problem may be that you have hundreds of products for absolutely no reason when you are in the beginning stages and you haven't even made a name for yourself yet. And you're wondering why people aren't buying, when in reality, you just got too much going on. So that actually brings us to our fourth and final strategy that we need to have a profitable and successful brand, and that is our nurture strategy. A lot of brands focus so much on getting new customers that they tend to forget the ones that they already have. Now, the key is to maintain your customers and build loyalty with them so that way they shop with you over and over again, because the truth is a lot of your revenue comes from customers you've already won over. And this is where your nurture strategy comes into play. Your nurture strategy will help you build loyalty, generate referrals to your business, and will help those people become those die-hard fans that you see other big brands have. So here's how we want to do this, right? First, we want to make sure that we have a powerful email and SMS marketing platform that could support our creative strategy. The one that I use is actually OmniSend, who happens to be the sponsor of today's video, but we'll talk more about them later. You want to use email and SMS as a way to continue to touch base with your customer even after they've gotten their order from you. The second thing that we want to do is create VIP experiences. Now, this is my favorite thing to do. You want to think about the little things you can do to wow your customers. Is it their birthday? Is it their anniversary of shopping with you? Or maybe you just want to offer your past customers exclusive access to a new collection or a special sale. Whatever it is, you want to make sure that you have a nurture strategy that can actually support the VIP experience that you are giving your past customers. A great example of this is Starbucks. And I know it's a little taboo right now, but just stay with me. Starbucks has a reward program where the more lattes and matchas that you get, the more points that you get, and they actually add up to be discounts. And so that's what you want to think about. How can you create a Starbucks experience? Chick-fil-A does this as well. And there are many other brands that have loyalty programs or do other cool things if you are a frequent customer of theirs. Now that we talked about the 4 core strategies that we need, let's get into these softwares and apps that will help your brand look better and grow faster. With the first and most important tool being a powerful email and SMS platform. And this is where OmniSend comes in. OmniSend is my new go-to for email and SMS because although I used to use Klaviyo, I switched, baby. And I switched for 3 main, essential, important reasons. 1, OmniSend is powerful without the clunky, overwhelming experience. 2, it's expert approved. And 3, it's just a smarter investment. So what I love about OmniSend is that email and SMS is in one platform, so I don't need to pay for 2 separate tools. Not only that, but the learning curve is not steep at all. It's powerful without needing to overwhelm you with all of this stuff that you need to learn, all this tech that you need to learn, baby, because who has time to learn all of the tech when you need to be running a business so that way you can actually sell your product? And it's a way smarter investment because for every dollar that you invest in OmniSend, it is proven that you will make about $68 back. That is one of the highest ROIs in marketing, and I am so happy that I took the time to deeply research what tool I am going to use on my quest to 100K for my product business, because based on my research, OmniSend is hands down the best. One of my huge frustrations with Klaviyo was that access to support was limited based on the plan that you are on. And in my opinion, you are an expert in your product and you're focused on selling that. You shouldn't have to worry about self-troubleshooting your technical issues. There should be a team for that. And OmniSend has a 24/7 tech team that's willing to help you no matter what plan you're on. They believe that everybody deserves top tier support, and I am all for that. So if you are serious about growing your brand and you want an email and SMS tool that's powerful without being overwhelming or clunky, then I highly recommend that you check out OmniSend. You can go to www.your.omnisend.com/thebrandhustler. So that way you could test out OmniSend for yourself and you actually get your first 3 months for 30% off. I'm gonna link everything in the description and pin it as a comment as well so that you can test it out and come tell me how much you love it, because I do. The second software or app that you're going to need is a website platform. Now, I'm gonna be real. I don't care what Wix says. I don't care what GoDaddy says. Shopify, by far, is the best website platform for product-based businesses, period. It was built for product businesses, and they continue to add new features and improvements that are super targeted towards product-based entrepreneurs. Not only that, but Shopify has built-in marketing, payment processing, and my favorite, built-in analytics so that way you can make smart decisions about your business. And not only that, but it easily integrates with so many of the tools that you are going to need to use. One of them being that it easily integrates with OmniSend, which is amazing. And it also integrates with Facebook ads and even TikTok Shop. The third tool that you are going to want to use is going to be a design tool. Now, my favorite is Canva, hands down. You do not need to be a super duper talented graphic designer to use Canva. It is beginner friendly and easy to use. My favorite thing about Canva is that you can create branded templates. You can also create product mock-ups and all the things. Now, if you want to spruce up your email like we talked about when we talked about OmniSend, you can actually design emails in Canva and then import them to OmniSend, which is the cheat code if you want to create emails that look like Pretty Little Thing and Fashion Nova. Even though Canva is really powerful when it comes to graphic design without you needing experience, I don't think that it is on par just yet for video editing and photo editing. So I don't recommend Canva for those things, but I do recommend Canva for any of your marketing and design material needs, okay? Now I do have a video about Canva where I break down how to create your brand guidelines in Canva and how to store it so that way any design that you create, you can copy and paste to make sure that everything matches up with how you intended for your brand. So check that out on the screen somewhere here, right? The fourth tool that you are going to use is going to be an organizational tool. You want somewhere to organize your ideas, to organize your strategy, and also your content plans. Now, what I use is something called coda.io. It is as if Notion and Google Docs had a baby and sprinkled some visuals on top. I absolutely love Coda, but you don't have to use Coda to have a central place for all of your items in your business. You can use Google Drive, you can use Notion, you can use anything that you'd like. Even if you're old school and you want to write everything down in one notebook, I highly recommend to take a picture of that and upload it to something like Google Drive so that way it stays organized and you have a true hub for your brand. Now, what is cool about Coda though, is that it allows you to schedule content on there. So if you wanted to schedule things directly to Instagram, you can. And it also allows you to push certain things to your calendar. So that's actually what I love to do when I have an important content piece or an important strategy that I need to be on my calendar. I'll hit a button and then Coda will actually push it through to my Google Calendar for me. That's why I love Coda. But like I said, you can use any tool that you like to organize everything for your brand. The fifth tool is going to be a combination. You're gonna need editing tools for your photo and for your video. Now, the two that I highly recommend and that I use is Facetune and CapCut. I use Facetune to edit my photos, to do things like smooth skin, adjust the lighting, blur my background, all the things. I'm actually going to put a before and after picture of a photo that I edited on the screen so you can see what that looks like. And then CapCut I use to edit all of my short form video and sometimes even my long form video if I'm pressed for time and I have to edit it and I don't give my team of editors enough time to do it themselves. I will use CapCut. CapCut, you can do a bunch of crazy things. You can clone yourself, create green screen effects, do pop-ups, do the whole nine. If I have an example of what that looks like, I'll put it on the screen here, but that's definitely what I recommend for your video editing and then Facetune for your photo editing. Oh, and by the way, everything that I just mentioned is going to be linked in my description box if you want to check any of those softwares and apps out. OmniSend is going to be a pinned comment because that is the most important. That is what's going to help you build connections, convert, and also build loyalty. So make sure that if you don't do nothing else, you click that link and you at least test out OmniSend for yourself. Now, one of the favorite things I love about being a product-based entrepreneur is that I get to invest in cool supplies. I actually get to package stuff, right? I love that about physical products. And if you are with me, comment it down below that, girl. I love that too. And so I am going to share the most essential physical supplies that you need for your product brand. You don't need to invest in super duper expensive things, and you don't need to invest in a whole bunch of stuff for no reason. These are gonna be the core things that you need. So the first is I want to talk about content creation. For content creation, you're going to want to use a camera. I have two cameras. I have the Canon 80D. I also have the Sony ZV-1, which is what I'm recording on right now. What I love about the Sony ZV-1 is it actually has well, both of them have a screen that you could flip out, but I like the Sony ZV-1 because I can vlog and then I can turn it upside down and it's seamless to record vertical or horizontal content. But if you don't have a camera, you can absolutely use a smartphone. I don't know about Android, so I'm not even gonna lie to you, but anything iPhone 12 and up is going to be good. Just make sure that you are using your back camera and that you're wiping off the camera every time that you're about to use it with a microfiber cloth, because trust me, it makes a difference. The next thing in terms of content creation that you absolutely need is going to be lighting. I have a light box that I use for physical products and a turntable that goes inside of it. So that way you can put like your hair oil or skin oil on it and it can rotate and you can record videos and things like that. I'm actually gonna put a video of me using it on the screen because I used this the other day and I have no clue where I put it, but I still wanted to record this video. So we're gonna put that on the screen so that way you can see what it looks like. Outside of that, when it comes to you needing to create content with actual models, actual people, human beings, or dogs, right? You want to make sure that you have lighting, okay? So outside of like just a turntable, you wanna make sure that you have something like a ring light or softbox lights. The rule of thumb when it comes to lighting is you wanna have 3 main types of lighting. One is going to be fill light. This can be light bulbs that fill the room. This can be any type of fill light, right? Something else you want to have is a dominant light. A dominant light is something that either mimics the sun or is the sun. So if you've ever heard of somebody saying they record content by a window, that's because they're using the natural sunlight. You can do that as well, but if you need to record content on a rainy day or maybe at night, you want to have dominant lighting that replaces the sun's light. And then the third type of lighting that you can add for some extra pizzazz is what's called mood lighting. So whenever I turn on this light behind me, it actually creates a mood because it's a colored light that isn't necessarily lighting up my skin tone, but it's adding a certain vibe to the space. This can be a lamp, this could be colored lights, anything like that. But that's extra pizzazz. You don't absolutely need it, but if we're talking about brand visuals and how you appear here, I definitely suggest getting some mood lights so that way you can get a mood and a vibe going for your brand. The next thing in terms of content creation you're going to need is going to be a tripod. So this right here is a very cool tripod. It comes with a top that can hold a phone, but you can easily take this off and just have it hold a camera instead. What I love about this tripod is that it also comes with a remote control. So if you are a solopreneur and you out there being Miss Independent, getting your content all on your own, same. This helps you do that. Next, I wanna talk about packaging and branding materials. So there are some core that you need here. Despite what you heard, you don't need a lot. What you first need is something to put your actual package in. This can be poly mailers, or it could be a custom box. Now, poly mailers you can also customize, but maybe you don't have the budget to do that. Maybe you don't have the budget for a custom box. That is completely okay. But there are poly mailers and boxes that either have colors that are a part of your color palette or that have a certain type of aesthetic that matches your brand, whether it is metallic like this, or whether it's something that says, let's go shopping and matches, you know, whatever it is that your brand's personality is. The next thing that I love and recommend for packaging and branding, if you wanna add some extra pizzazz, is going to be custom stickers or custom tape. So custom tape can look like this, and you actually just wet it with a sponge and then seal it on whatever the package is that you are sending out. Custom stickers, I recommend putting like your logo on it or something and then putting that on the package if you don't have custom poly mailers or a custom box. The next thing that you are going to want is you are going to want thank you cards. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about this. You want to make sure that you're thanking your customers for buying from you because this is the first step to building loyalty, right? You can make these handwritten if you want to, but honestly, we need to systemize it. So we can systemize it and still provide a personal touch by getting custom thank you cards designed and just leaving a spot where you can put your signature or even write the person's name on it. Now, let's get into shipping tools. When it comes to shipping your products, your physical products, you're going to want to use a shipping scale. I absolutely recommend one that has the scale monitor separate from the actual scale, because if you're shipping out a really big box and the monitor is on here, you're gonna struggle to see that. So make sure that you have something that's separate so that way, you know, it doesn't matter how big it is, this stretches all the way out and you can actually still see the weight. The next thing you want is a label printer. I love Dymo, that's what I use for my shoe boutique, but I understand that Dymo can be kind of pricey, and Amazon in recent years has $60 to $70 options that you can get compared to the $200 Dymo, so you can check that out. Now, if you're like, Chanel, I don't even want to spend the $60 to $70, I have a printer at home, then use your printer that you have at home, but get label paper. You can get this on Amazon for less than $10 and you just put it in your printer as regular paper and it can print 2 labels at one time and it actually separates and you can peel and stick this on your package. So label paper if you wanna do like the home kind of old school route. Now, I just said a whole lot of, and that's why I made a storefront for you on Amazon where I have my content creation essential, my packing and shipping essentials, and some tools and supplies I didn't even mention in this video. So I'm gonna leave the link to my Amazon storefront in my description box as well, so that way you can go ahead and shop. Woo. I told you this was gonna be the only guide that you need to have your core essentials that will guide you to your profitable and successful brand. And while these essentials are great, if you don't know how to position and market your brand effectively, you will still struggle. So if you want to stop being generic and actually build a brand that stands out, then you need to watch this video right here where I break down exactly how you need to brand and market your business this year. A special shout out again to OmniSend for sponsoring this video. If you are serious about building a brand that keeps customers coming back, that makes consistent sales for you and helps you build deeper connections, then email and SMS is a non-negotiable, and OmniSend is the key to expert approved but newbie tested marketing and automation that will help you grow. So make sure that you check out the link in my description box and my pinned comments so that you can sign up for OmniSend today. Now, if you made it all the way to the end of this video, shout out to you. Comment the words CEO era activated to prove to me that you are a true hustle babe that made it all the way to the end of this video and that you are locking in and making this the biggest year of your life. Comment CEO era activated. If you aren't subscribed, what are you doing? Hit the subscription button and join the Hustle Babe community. Follow me on Instagram at The Brand Hustler and on TikTok at The Brand Hustler as well. And I will see you in the next one. Bye, Hustle Babe.